Alrighty, we got ourselves Akazuki over for the team 1 with 4 beard. Holy Sayo, looks like gonna be first up. I like this whole toxic look he's got going on. He's like a paladin version of Bane or something, man. Look at that. One shoulder fell course into his body. I'm a big fan. We got ourselves Jayhawk as well as Masterfoot. It looks like my man Grifka makes a return, trying to see if he can represent them. Subtlety rogue. He's got himself full burst versus Holy Saya. Just looking for a bit of a retreat after blasting him out for a bit there. Looks like he just wants to go for a bit of a reset. Holy Saya does not want to play around any pillars. He's trying to take a page out of Talrion's book. He'll watch that man carefully. Fighting Grifka, he knows he doesn't want to give Rogue any pillars. As long as the Rogue has a pillar, he could always go for a shiv, go for a gouge, catch himself a quick reset. You don't want to give him any shadows. You want to give him any shade whatsoever. Bobble immediately trying to see if he can counter Grifka. Does go in for a shadow meld. Consecration gets him out in the open. So smoke bomb barely keeping him alive. Does try to go for a shadow step, but it's going to be slow immediately blind with the trigger to follow. Holy Side does go for Thunder Grifka. Both sides are going to force a trick out of the guy. Grifka trying to see if he can back up out of there. Dance, cheap shot. Does he go counter offensive? Trying to see if he can make some kind of a play, but I don't think he's got enough here. Just secret technique for just second blind by Holy Saya. Next stun could be really bad for the Rogue. Does go in for a quick vanish. Does he have any dots on him? He does. Wait a second. Holy Saya, if you're fast enough, does get the judgment in there somehow. Gouge to follow as Grifka looks for a bit of a reset. Does he have a kidney shot? I'm surprised that thing is not DR'd. Wall by Holy Saya. Grifka is going to want to go for a bit of a reset. Hand of Freedom keeping the Paladin moving. Grifka does not have an out. He does have one more vanish. When does he use it? When do you send the vanish? At some point you'll have to. Stun to follow. Is this enough right now? Grifka trying to see if he can survive it. I think it might be enough to go in for a vanish. Does have a dot on him though. If he got a Blade of Justice on him, he definitely has a dot. Trying to go for a bit of a sip up, a little bit of a reheal. Holy Saya hit with a kidney shot. Gonna be a Blessing of Protection. Grifka does not have an out anymore. If he can catch up to the Rogue, he'll be A-okay. Trying to keep him in his line of sight as best as possible. Does he have any mobility? Looks like Grifka got himself enough to escape here. Unless he got a dot? Oh no, Sap to follow. Grifka does get himself a full out. But at this point, the Rogue does not have any outs besides Cloaker Shot is coming up very, very soon. Blind up soon as well. If Holy Saya can pick up eyes and find the Rogue insta, he might be able to be okay. If he goes left instead of right, he goes right instead of left. That is unfortunate. Checked one side, did not see him. Should hopefully be able to see that the Rogue is nearby. He may need to get himself Blessing of Saying before a stun. The Rogue goes in for a re-stealth, does get himself a proper kidney shot. Holy Saya does not have an answer here. Maybe Lay on Hands will help him live, potentially, but maybe not it. Oh my god, so close. So close. Almost got himself one Lay on Hands. Grifka deceived himself like an airtight stun combo to take out the Paladin as Masterford going to be in there. Quick stun onto Grifka, does go in for a trinket, evasion to follow, trying to see if he can find himself an escape. But it looks like Masterfoot is able to at least put some bleeds on Grifka. Not able to get himself a proper re-stealth either. Grifka does have advantage in case he needs to Cloak of Shadows. Most likely able to remove. No. Actually, Glaze Cloak does not remove bleeds. Not playing the defensive Veil of Midnight PvP talent. That is rough. Catches him for a second with a bear charge. Bash to fall again. The bleeds on Grifka. Knows that Grifka cannot dispel those bleeds. Stun right after. Got himself lots of stuns back to back. Grifka with vanish. It picks up the eyes immediately. Shadow Strike onto Masterfoot. Blind to follow off of that wall. And Grifka just melting. Eventually, Grifka is going to go down. Big bite to follow. Trying to go for a sap onto Masterfoot. But the blind is only 5 seconds, not 6. You will not be able to go for a blind into a sap anymore like you used to back in the day. And Grifka does go down with tags to try to see if we can catch up. We are 6 minutes into the duel. 32% dampening. Not a lot of healing available. And this is where Tagsy is going to have to find a way to blast out Masterfoot one way or another. Dots himself the Succubus. Looks like Dots are already on the Feral Druid. He's going to have to play it very, very carefully. We'll have to use Dark Glare. I think the faster he can end this duel, the better it is going to be for Tagsy. Oh, there goes the Succubus. Big payoff. Got us a full CC onto Masterfoot. Able to at least get a full set of dots with Shadow Fury before he even shifts into a form. Soul Rot to follow. All the dots are in. Got himself full Dark Glare. Masterfoot is under a ton of pressure. Barkskin may not be enough. May have to rotate into Heart of the Wild. May have to start healing himself. Look at the damage he's just taking. He's just suffering this damage. Tagsy doesn't even have to be there. All this damage, Masterfoot trying to see if he can heal it. Darkland doesn't even add that much either. He just all these dots are just ramping up on him. Masterfoot barely surviving this. Does go for Heart of the Wild together with the renewal, but at this point, he just back up to a low health. He wasn't able to fully recover. He just back up from emergent state into another emergent state. He's still just in a rough spot. Tagsy getting some dots on him though. But a Drained Soul does end up taking down the Feral. Not much you can really do. Once the Warlock gets the dots on you, once you make that mistake, it is over. Akazuki gonna be up next. Sap onto what kind of a... What was that for a second? It looks like you had lightning all around you. Are those shoulders the, is that a toy? Wall, but tags it, trying to see if it can maybe somehow survive. Akazuki, cheap shot to follow. Doesn't have much health to work with. Drain life, maybe giving you a bit of survivability. Not giving him much of a shield. At least you're able to get full set of dots. Mortal Call into the rogue does not give him much healing anymore. Shadow Fury right after. At this point, tags is just trying to go for drain. Big damage onto Akazuki. Full dots around him. Does he have a cloak? He does not. Akazuki may just die right now. The dots are just blasted right through him. I don't know what this man can do at this moment. I think it just might be over. Try to sit down. A succubus not going to give you an opportunity whatsoever. You can't even catch yourself a proper reset. Maybe a vanish. May just have to go for it. Shadow mode. You still have dots? It looks like dots are rough. Taxi needs something here. Needs a succubus in order to help him. As soon as the rogue opens, if you can get the rogue away from you with a succubus, you'll be in a great spot. That or catch the rogue before he can even get himself a good angle. I love this lightning effect this man's got going on. It randomly just supercharges the rogue. Where is the succubus? Where is this thing? Oh, it's right there next to the rogue. Second CC. Oh, before Shadow Blades. No outs. Tags needs to load the guy with dots and then AFK. Load the dots with AFK. Mortal Call, sending them out. Full set of dots on Akazuki. Is this enough right now? Ramping up those dots. Trying to see if you can avoid the rogue. Rogue needs to get in there right now. Otherwise, it's just oh, good Shadow Step as Tag support, but just not fast enough. My goodness. Jayhawk Wizard versus Tagsy, a bit of a rematch, but Tagsy walking into this one with no cooldowns whatsoever. He's playing on the defensive side right now. The best he can maybe do is dot up Jayhawk, but if he's running that new prismatic defensive talent, those dots are not going to be nearly as effective. Blink does have a way to blink out of those stuns, though. Tagsy with that execute rage trying to go for a bit of a soul run. Does he have any survivability? Drain life, keeping him barely alive, but just trying to get himself a little bit of damage. Full dark layer, no interact. Drain soul is always really good right now, just trying to max out the damage onto Jayhawk. He is melting. He's not in a great spot. May have to go for an ice buck through all these dots, just trying to see if he can use power just to get himself this shield or prismatic barrier quick enough. It's Snaxy pushing in. He just needs to layer his sort of dots with Tagsy's dots, and I think it's just over for Jayhawk. He might just have to go for an ice buck here. There goes the block. Has to use it. Has to sit in there for as long as possible, recovering all the health. At 68% dampening, you ain't really getting back a lot of health right now, so Jayhawk has to be very careful. He does have breath. He does have images. He has himself Arcane Surge coming up very, very soon. Quick invis before Snax can really catch him. Juking out the kick for the Snacks. Poly to follow. Arcane Surge right after. As long as you can maybe get an interrupt, look at you'll be fine. It's going to be unstable Affliction down for Snacks. Taking a lot of damage from those missiles right now. That's a lot of blasted damage out of Jayhawk. Snacks may be in a lot of trouble. Big touch of the magic is loaded. The man might just be dead right then and there. Massive smack, but the touch of the magic, I don't think it's just over. Snacks has no health. Mortal Call last second of Jayhawk. Full dots. Oh my god. I cannot believe it. He lived it. I had no idea how, but he somehow lived it. Thrown bolt by the warrior as he goes in for full Odin's Fury, not letting the Warlock get away. My goodness. Is it Silver next? No, it looks like it is going to be Shadowprank to go and finish off Forkbeard here really quickly. As Forkbeard trying to see if he can get himself some kind of a setup. I don't even know what Shadowprank was trying to do, running around and Shadow Step like that to the guy. Secret technique, cheap shot. There's nothing you can do. Once you've already used your big defensive, that's it. It's over. My goodness. Oh my god. Tagsy with 2, and looks like Snacks as Affliction was able to finish off the mage. That was a rough one, man. You guys are not really giving each other an easy out there at all. Everybody's fighting tooth and nail, and I kind of love it, honestly.